When we talk about 21 Pilots, we mainly talk about Tyler Joseph and Josh Dun. After all, they've been 21 Pilots for the past 10 years. However, the original conception of 21 Pilots did not include Josh. It was originally Tyler, Chris Solly, as well as Nick Thomas. Drums, bass, as well as keyboards from Tyler. Then eventually the drummer left, and then we got Josh. Then eventually the bass player left, and it just became a Tyler and Josh thing. That is until we got to this era, to where we got the introduction of the Psy Band, which includes Dan, Skylar, Todd, and Dr. Blum. And then there's also a hidden member of the Psy Band, really someone who I consider to be the third member of 21 Pilots since the Trench era, because this person played such an important role in Trench, as well as some songs in Scale and Icy, as well as a huge role in the live stream experience. So, who is this person? Good morning, good afternoon, or good night, depending on when you're watching this. How's it going, guys? First off, I hope you're having a good day today. Hope your day's going well, and I hope it continues to go well. This is Paul Meany and why he is so important in 21 Pilots. So Paul Meany, first and foremost, is a musician. They are a multi-instrumentalist, but mainly focuses on the keyboard as well as the synth side of things. They're also a producer, and they produced one of the songs off of Half Alive's debut album. But the thing that Paul is most well known for is his band, mutemath. Yes, the same mutemath that opened for 21 Pilots during the Emotional Roadshow tour, and the same mutemath that did a whole EP with Tyler and Josh. It was the TOPX mutemath sessions. It is super cool. If you haven't listened to it, definitely check it out. It features 5 songs from the Blurry Face era reimagined, made super cool. Like, they start with Heathens, and the intro it is just super ambient and creepy, and I love it so much. It's definitely worth it checking out the video on YouTube they have, because it's super cool. Then we get Heavy Dirty Soul, the version of Heavy Dirty Soul where Tyler screams at the end, which is why it's my favorite version of Heavy Dirty Soul. You get Ride, which is Ride just with more synths in it, and it's absolutely amazing. Also features electric guitar in it. The first 21 Pilots song to feature electric guitar, but way back when. Then we get a huge, crazy reimagined version of Tear My Heart that is phenomenal and amazing. Like, it's super cool. Then you get Lambo at the very end, more electric guitar stuff in there, more synths, and it's fantastic. And this is basically what mutemath is. They are an electronica band who uses, of course, like guitar, bass, and drums as well, but they use a lot of keyboards and they're synth heavy, and it's absolutely amazing. It reminds me of my favorite band outside 21 Pilots, Fish, but more electronica, because it's so intricate. Every member of mutemath is an incredible musician. Like, it is insane, and I enjoy listening to it so much. And mutemath has had one of their songs feature in a Twilight movie, that song being Spotlight, and it's actually a really amazing song. I love just all the writing in mutemath. The lyrics are super great. I get lost in the soundscapes of mutemath's music, and like I said, all of them are beasts of musicians, especially Paul. Just go to YouTube and just type in Paul Meany or mutemath voice in the silence and just watch. It is absolutely amazing. But what exactly does this have to do with 21 Pilots? Well, of course, we did mention that mutemath and Paul Meany went on tour with 21 Pilots during the Emotional Roadshow tour. We talked about the TOPX mutemath session EP, but also Paul Meany played a huge role in the album that just turned 3, everyone's favorite album. That's right, Trench. Paul played such a huge role as music producer, which basically, if you don't know what a producer is from a production standpoint, basically the biggest summary I can give is to get whatever the artist that is hearing in their head out there onto the album. Make sure their vision is heard as well on the album. To which, oh boy, Paul definitely did that, and it is absolutely amazing. Paul had a touch on everything on this record, trying to get what was in Tyler's head out of there, as well as writing songs with Tyler on the album itself. Yes, that's right, Paul and Tyler wrote songs together, and these songs include Levitate, Morph, Chlorine, Smithereens, Cut My Lip, Bandito, and Pet Cheers, which if you think about all those songs, think about all the synths and stuff, and all the soundscapes that go along with it, you could definitely hear all the Paul Meany influence, because that's something that Paul does super well, is soundscapes. Like, it is absolutely amazing, like painting a picture with sounds, and like with the songs just mentioned, especially when it comes to Smithereens and listening to all the song, like all the synth stuff in the background, just all the layers, you could absolutely hear that, especially also in Bandito and Cut My Lip. Huge synth heavy songs, and definitely like just you get that soundscape that pulls you into there, and it is super good. And the collaboration of Tyler and Meany continued on to the Level of Concern song. Yes, Paul also was a producer on there, and it even goes to Scale and Icy. Paul had less of an influence here. It was all mainly produced by Tyler, except for a couple of songs, which includes Good Day, Saturday, Mulberry Street, and Redecorate. The ones that had Paul as a producer included Saturday, as well as Redecorate. Redecorate makes a lot of sense because Chlorine, the beginning voice, so Sawaria, it's been a little while, that's actually Paul Meany's voice in there. In Redecorate, we get a similar introduction, which I assume is not been confirmed yet, so I'm just speculating here. It's most likely Paul Meany as well. And it goes in further in the era if you think about the live stream experience, because Paul played the director of the whole live stream experience. He played the musical director, making sure everything flowed just right, making sure that the musicians were doing what needed to be done and not adding too much stuff. And he did such a super good job on the live stream experience that he's currently on tour with the Pilots doing the same exact thing, being musical director. Like, you would just need to watch the second episode of 21 Pilots tour to see Paul Meany talk to Skylar, talk to Dan, talk to Dr. Blum, see what he's doing, and it's super good. Paul is such an amazing thing, and definitely has had a huge influence on Tyler, especially with the location sessions. Now, earlier before, I mentioned the voices in the Silence EP. I think I mentioned the voices in the Silence EP, that going to YouTube, typing in Paul Meany or mutemath voices of silence, and basically it's Paul making a whole song from scratch right there, one shot, one take, and it's absolutely amazing. Much like Tyler did in the Cut My Lip Brooklyn session, as well as Berlin The Hype. Like, and these are 1 year apart from each other. The Voices in Silence EP was released in 2018, and all the location sessions besides the Level of Concern were in 2019. So you definitely see where all that rubs off. And like, skipping a year in 2021, Tyler's doing it again live. Tyler is doing Redecorate, like all like a la location sessions, building Redecorate from scratch in the stadium shows, and it's fantastic. And Paul actually put on his Instagram story, I can't find this image, but he's saying that Tyler is making him proud. Like, Tyler has so much respect for Paul, and like there's interviews where Tyler talks about Paul's influence on Tyler and Josh and the band in general, and Tyler talks so positively of him, and the collaboration's working because like everyone loves Trench. Paul Meany had such a huge influence on it. Level of Concern, so infectious. Paul Meany had an influence on that. And you can actually see Paul Meany in the Level of Concern live from the outside, to which, yes, he was on a location session, but it's safe to say that Paul is going to continue having an influence on Tyler and help Tyler keep producing all of this music. Well, anyway, guys, there you have it. That was my little thing on Paul Meany. Such a huge, important part of Trench's history and Trench is making, as well as having a huge influence on what Tyler does today with some of his music. And just huge influential. Definitely go listen to mutemath. Go listen to Paul Meany stuff. It is just super interesting, and I love it so much. And also, I'm just a music nerd when it comes to this stuff. Literally, I was in a practice room practicing before my guitar lesson, and not practicing, but just watching Paul Meany interviews as well as mutemath stuff, and I just got so inspired to create music. And of course, when you get home from a long day, it's gone, but at the time I was just like so in like involved, invested, that's the word, invested in what was happening. It is just amazing. But you could definitely listen to where Paul Meany and mutemath rub off on Tyler and 21 Pilots. So definitely go check it out. Go check out the Voices in Silence EP to see what I'm talking about, as well as Paul Meany doing a tribute to the Beastie Boys. Super fantastic stuff there. But anyway, guys, really hope you enjoyed this video. Tomorrow is going to be a new Justin for Psy band, and it's going to be about something that I need more of, and that is sleep. But anyway, guys, I'll go ahead and I'll see you all tomorrow with that. So yeah, I'll see you all later. Goodbye, and more importantly, have a good day, and I'll see you later.